Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode from the Let's Play series, where we're going to be starting this episode off with immediately making the terracotta farm that we've been waiting for so very long. Right, so here we go, one little terracotta farm. Well, I say a terracotta farm. What this is actually doing is it's making clay for us, and it's not a particularly big building. It's not taking up too much space on our island at all. You can see where I've designed it, so I've got these great big pipes there which are going down into the water, and they'll be able to be extended a little bit so that they're going into all of this sand and dirt and that sort of thing. And there's some wheels over there just to make it look like it's powered. But what actually powers it is the windmill at the top. Those wheels down there are purely for show. But let's just have a little look inside and see what's going on. I think a little bit of a terraforming is probably going to be needed around here. But here we go. Here is the inside. Here is the actual gubbins of this place. So what have we got going on? Well, now that we've got brass, we have got access to far more intricate and detailed and more controllable contraptions, because we can start making things a little bit more clever. So we can see up here, this is a standard cobblestone generator. It's got 4 little drills up there, and they are going to be cutting out that cobblestone for us, which we are then going to be storing in this chest. That can then be set using the brass funnel to release 16 at a time cobble straight into these nice big crushing wheels that we've got there. And the great thing about crushing wheels is that they can handle larger loads like that. They don't have to do one little bit of stone at a time like your average mill does. What that's going to do then is that's going to crush down our cobble into gravel, which is going to be our first product from this farm. And here is where things get a little bit more technical than we're used to. What we've got here is we've got a smart chute. So that is a chute that is able to decide what it will and won't accept. It's got these little filter inputs that you can see just here. That is then going into a chest, and attached to that chest we have got one of these little threshold switches. And these are supremely useful because they allow us to take a look at the inventory within a chest, such as this one just here, and then based on how much it's got in there, it will output a signal. So in this case what's going to happen is that threshold switch will switch its signal on once the chest is full of gravel. That will then transfer its signal using this redstone link over here to the smart chute, which is going to switch off. So basically the chest will fill with gravel, the chute will switch off, and then the gravel will travel on to the next set of crushing wheels, which will turn it into sand, and again they will go straight through this smart chute. They'll go into this chest, and then once this chest is full, that chute will switch off, and then the sand will travel along, and then it'll be above this little smart chute here, which has got a filter in it for clay and flint. So they'll be able to be washed through there once I pop some water underneath that fan, and then this chest on the end will be able to fill up with our clay. Whoop! I have got to do some interior work in here as well, because I'd quite like to not keep falling in this hole. But first things first, we will just bob our way back up again, and we'll go and switch that windmill on that's just up the top there. I do also have this little entrance here, which is another way that I can get into the building, and that's going to be a little walkway just in case I need to get up to the cogs and things up there. I would quite like to put a rotation speed controller up there once I've got some of them. For now though, let's just go and switch on that windmill. Right. Get rid of you. Off we go, cover that back up, and everything should now be working. Let's go and have a look. Everything is spinning. Helps if you put some water in. Right, okay, so quick progress update. I've put down a little bit of a floor in here. Doesn't need to be anything too fancy. I want to make sure I've got easy access to all of the chests, And you can see that I've also extended our storage just a little bit. So it blends in really well, but there's actually a hopper just there, which is just going to be transferring any items from that chest into this one. So the chests down below are going to be the ones that fill first, and then it's just going to be the second chests up above that are still being read by the threshold switches. This is just going to give me a little bit more overflow, because my plan is that this farm is not going to be running unless I need it. One, the noise that it makes is a little bit on the annoying side, and two, it runs a little bit too fast, and I'd be concerned about it filling up quickly if I'm not paying attention to it because I'm building or something. The only other thing I need to make sure then is that I've got reasonably easy access up to that windmill, just so that I can switch it on and off as and when I want it. Other thing which I need to do as well is have a little bit of a look at the terraforming around here. It's not exactly a thing of beauty. In fact, it's probably going to get me killed at this rate. So we've got a weird little area down here. We've got a random bit that goes up to the water over here. And I also need to extend the path, which is over this way, over there. All that pink stuff over there, all that granite, that needs to be extended down into this little courtyard area as well. So I think what I'm going to do, because this is a real sort of mishmash of different levels, I've also got this wooden area over here that I'd quite like to bring round. I think what I'll do is I'll keep the floor down here on this level so that I can run through here reasonably easily, box my way through there so that I can get down to this sort of water area where I can come and get on boats or anything like that, and also get in this door so I can go and make any crushing wheels or anything like that with the mechanical crafters over there, and then maybe have like a staircase going up here on the other side. Certainly a lot of terraforming is going to have to go on in this little area, and I better get some digging done. Okay, well this seems to be turning into a bit of a this is how I build episode, so this is how I build pretty much. What I tend to do is I will plonk down a building, I will plonk down another building, trying to leave enough space in between them so that I can mess around with the terraforming a bit, and then do just that. Just try and match them up as best as I possibly can, making sense of the terrain that's around them. I don't really plan out anything other than that. Once it's down, it just gets worked with until it sort of works for me. But you can see where I am up to. So we have got a little walkway that runs through here. That's going to connect into this building that's going to need an interior at some point. That comes out and around the side. It also connects up to the walkway that goes right the way around to the other side of the island. And then we've got this quite nice little walkway through here. A nice arch would be good just there. And that will give us access to the farm, to the wheels, or at least to the mechanical crafters that makes our wheels, and then have two little staircases going up here. This goes straight through to the cave that's just here, that's next to the quarry. So that has pretty much dictated how much we can use that terrain on the other side. I'll just run myself back around again. Right, so back here again, and I think what I'll do is I'll just build up this little dock area as well, and then see how that's going. So once I've put down a rough idea of how the layout's going to work, and I've walked around it a load to make sure I think it's going to be reasonably comfortable to traverse, now what I'll do is I'll put down the base materials of how I want it to look. So I'm thinking nice wooden deck here, a bit of a wooden pier so that I've got my boats, a wall that needs to match in with these ones, because there's no reason why the builders here would have used any different material at this point. They would continue to use stone here, and then just put the stairs up to the top. And once I've sort of mapped out the basic materials and how they're going to look, then we'll work on the detailing. Okay, so we are now looking like this. All of the wooden walkways have been laid out. We've got an easy track through there. Hello. Oh, my favourite people are here again. That's so nice of them. We've got a little stairway going up there and another one on the other side. And then it links up as well to our room so that we can get into randomly have a look at the farm from this angle if we wanted to. And it also connects up to this path which runs right the way around the top here, going around the back of this building. I've also added in a little doorway just here, just because I thought that was quite a handy way to get through back to the front of the island again, just in case I wanted to take a slightly shorter route. Right, what am I going to do about you down here? Hello, pests. Let's kill each other. That would be great. I don't particularly want to go down there with you there. Let's just see if we... mind you, I've not got any villagers, so it's fine. Let's just find... Alright, fine. I don't know where your captain's gone, but I'll just get rid of you. And you. Where's the captain gone? They always hide somewhere, don't they? Come on. Captain, Captain, we know you're here somewhere. You're going to jump out at me and shoot me in a minute, guaranteed. Did you go in here? No. Okay. Bets on how long it's going to take for him to find me and start shooting me? Oh, I'm going to go with about 5 minutes, if that. Right, well, let's have a little run around. So this little area here as well still needs to have something placed underneath there. I would like there to be just maybe a slight arch, but it's not very high. And I do like to run and jump, so I don't want to make that any narrower than it already is. But overall, though, this place is now ready to start getting a little bit decorated up. And the first thing that I can say about that is, well, I'm not going to want to walk over there. So the first thing I will do is I'm just going to pop a few fences around, and then we can change out the materials later on. For now, it's just getting an idea of where we would want to stop people from being able to walk. They do want to be able to go around there. Oh, that was a mistake. Do I like that being there? I'll leave you there for now and we'll see if you grow on me. I also just want to make some changes down around the base of the wall. This is right up next to the water, so it's definitely going to be an area that gets pretty soggy a lot. So I want there to be more of the mossy cobble around here, making it look a little bit more realistic, like this is a rather sort of dank and unpleasant area. So we'll just run a little bit of our mossy through. Have I got any on me? Yeah, I've got a little bit. So I'm going to have mostly the mossy cobble down here rather than the brickwork, just because I quite like that roughened up down at the base look. So just run these ones through and see how that's starting to look. Let's have a little look. Slightly better. That's a little bit plain just up there. Maybe I'll pop one in there as well. Maybe one right back. There. Just up there. Right, also this wooden plank is looking rather plain, so I think what I'll do is underneath here, I'll decorate it up with some of the darker wood, like some of this dark oak slabs. These would look good down here. Again, maybe this is all dripping down and it's making this wood rather slippery down here. And then around the edges though, what I usually like to do is go around with the oak, because when the sun comes around and it strikes the corners of this, this is where the wood is going to start to fade. So what I'll do is I will lighten the edges down there and then make over against the wall much darker. Okay, so the scene is looking a little bit more set now. We've got the wood is fading out towards the edges. I've put a railing around the wooden decking area as well, just so that nobody goes wandering off and falls into the water. They also can't get over to any of the machinery on either side neither. And I've tried to keep all of the darker wood around anywhere where there's sort of wet looking walls that's going to make the wood look a bit wet as well. With all of the more oak levels, sort of oak levels of lightness over towards the edges, if you know what I mean. Okay, so this is looking reasonable though, but now it's time to start thinking, if I lived here, what would I do in this area? First of all, though you can absolutely guarantee it, I would store stuff underneath here because it'll be out of the rain. Just like that. So people have just walked along here and they've just been gradually dumping bits and pieces in this area because it's out of the way basically. Left myself plenty of space so that I can run through just in case any more pillagers turn up. And that's not looking too bad just there at all. But what are we going to do over here? Now, one thing we've not got yet around here is any kind of grass. These sorts of areas, I've got a funny feeling people aren't going to be keeping them very clean, so there's a pretty good chance the grass would end up growing in the corners. So let's go and grab some and let's go to sleep before something comes and tries to murder me. Right, boingity boingity boing, we'll run back up here, and what we'll do is we'll get hold of some coarse dirt, I think, or maybe some mud as well. We'll try both of them. We'll get some coarse dirt and some mud and then grab some grass and then go back and just see if we can make the area look a little bit weedy around the edges. Right, what have we got? Let's have a couple of bits of mud. little bit of coarse dirt, take a few more of those just in case. Do I have any grass? I do have grass. Do I have any little pink flowers? I do have little pink flowers. Do I have an inventory full of rubbish? I do have an inventory full of rubbish. But never mind, let's go back and have a try with these. Hang on one moment, just in case. Do I have brown leaves? Yes, but only 2. Let's make them count if we use them. Right, okay, so back we go. Okay, and now the question becomes, if I was a weed, where would I want to be growing? There. That is definitely where I'd want to be. I've got a bit of shade from the sun, but I'm still going to get the rain. That definitely looks like a pretty good weedy growth spot to me, so we will pop a piece of mud in there. Is that going to be too dark? Let's have a look. I think that's just fine. Okay, and then what I'll do is next to that one, I'll try one of the coarse dirts as well. This is placing random dirt with Tyra. What an exciting thing to do. Let's have a look. That's too much. I'm gonna get really picky about this now. That was too much. I don't want them coming out into the path because they would just get trampled by people as they walk past. So that's definitely probably the only place where anything weed is going to be able to grow around here. Up this corner, that's definitely going to be a bit of a scruffy spot, so we will pop a couple pieces up there as well. Then people will come around the corner, they'd go over here, they'd go over there. They'd probably be using this for more storage rather than anything else, so we'll pop down some chests around here, a couple more of the barrels. One of the really nice things about the Create set, of course, is that it gives you random shapes that you can use in different places to see if somebody has just sort of propped up a cog there for no apparent reason, but it just makes the place look that little bit more full. And I've also got my leaves as well. If I was going to be a small dying tree, I would be right there. That's where I would have died. That would have been my spot. And so you can see we're starting to make the place look just that little bit more full and a little bit more lived in again. Now, one thing we have got is this pier, which is very short over here, but it's only going to be for me using a couple of tiny little boats. But it does mean people would probably store boat stuff just in this area. So, right, let's have a think. What would you use with boats? Oh, well, rats. Right, well, that'll teach me for going in the water. I clearly should have stayed out of it. Anyway, I have at least made a little bit of progress before my untimely death, and I figured why store boat stuff when you could just store the boats themselves. So, before I got murdered, I was building up a nice little boat storage here, so I'll be able to just grab one and then go off with it if I want to. Now, where is the guy that killed me? He is there. Do I care about any of that stuff enough to... Oh yeah, there's my spade. Right, don't kill me again. Please don't kill me. Oh, no, just let me get the spade, just let me get the spade. Oh no, run. No. No. Right. Axe, spade, pickaxe. Did I have anything else? Oh, I hate those guys. Why are those guys so strong? Right, okay. Let's sneak back, and hopefully if he doesn't see me get in the water, he won't come after me again. Ah, sneak peeks. This is where I am also working at the moment, ready to put the harbour in. You can see where I've been sort of terraforming the land an awful lot. But that is not my concern right now. My concern is surviving the trip back. Where's he gone? Where have you gone? There you are. And you're still trying to get me. Okay, it's not worth the risk. It's not worth the risk. Just run back, run right the way round. It's fine. Oh, look, there's the captain. He didn't get very far, did he? I wonder if I can lure these two around and then they can kill off each other. Somehow, I doubt that. I think I will get caught in the middle and be the only one that dies. So, let's sneak back over here and pretend we are not a complete coward who is useless at all forms of mob attacks. Never happened. Right, that's fine. But what I think I will do from here though is I will leave this area for now, and then I'll come back and add bits and pieces to it as it sort of takes my fancy. Usually because I've got something in my inventory and I need to dump it somewhere, so I figure I will put it here as I run past. I did at one point in my life, before I got killed by a drowned, have some nice slabs in my inventory. Oh no, right, maybe we should go and fetch those. There, so now if I just pop these slabs up there, let's have a look at just giving this a tiny little bit more detail to it. Yeah, that's fine, absolutely fine. Just that teensy weensy little bit just gives it that little bit more interest. I am getting out of here. And I have also gone ahead and done the rest of the path that is just out here in this sort of courtyard. And you know what? I always find this point of a build really challenging. Not because of doing the actual work, but it's resisting doing more. This is such a large area. I could easily squeeze another building or two along here, for example, or perhaps they've got some storage up against this building, and it's that resisting squeezing more stuff in that I find really challenging. But the main thing that is stopping me is that I really like this view from here. I think that is a nice view up there of those buildings. I don't want anything else to obstruct it. So I'm going to be careful and try to keep this space nice and open and just be mindful of not cramming the island full of stuff. And at the moment, this is how the island is looking. So there's that nice gap through there, being able to see up to those buildings. And you can see how there is a slight danger at the moment of putting so much into this island, it's going to get difficult to see what's actually going on in it. Especially around this area, this is very busy with all these little houses. Need to make sure I don't do too many more of those, because I don't want it to look like a complete mess. I do want the island to be nice to look at, as well as vaguely functional. Oh, I think I might have just gone randomly inside a wall. I have. But anyway, so this is the only area of the island now that really needs work doing on it. You can see if I come up, we've gone around that side, and then we've just got this big gap here on this side. You can see where the harbour's going to end up filling up from. But around here, definitely going to need to have a few more bits and pieces. In the next episode, that's going to be. For now, I'm going to crack back on with designing this harbour and getting that ready to show you. Happy Minecrafting, everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye!